Welcome back to a brand new episode. Today we will be looking at Kaito Shizuki. He is a really powerful new planeswalker from Neon Dynasty, and he reads as follows. So it's a 1 blue, black for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. At the beginning of your end step, if Kaito Shizuki enters the battlefield this turn, he phases out. So this is really important against aggressive decks because you play him, you can do one of the abilities, and then your opponent's turn they can't do anything to Kaito Shizuki. So that's awesome flavors like hiding in the shadows. He's +1 draw a card, then discard a card unless you attack this turn. Pretty much the whole time I was testing, I was just drawing cards with this, so the +1 is basically draw a card. But even draw discard isn't so bad. -2, create a 1/1 blue ninja creature token, which can't be blocked. Also really powerful, enables ninjutsu. You can put equipment onto it and attack unhindered. And the -7 is crazy. You get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. If you get the ultimate, it's just happy days. You're going to be able to do anything you want from then on. So the structure of the deck is incredibly aggressive. We've got about 36 lands in the deck, as you can see, and we have 29 creatures. So with an aggro deck, you want to keep the creatures flowing constantly, because your opponent's probably going to have a few board wipes and kill spells, so you need to continuously replenish the battlefield. I tried having a highest average CMC for this kind of deck, but it just doesn't really work. You need to be low to the ground, so that's why you can see the CMC is really heavy at 2 and 3. Some of the standout creatures, well, they'll all have evasion, so let's take a look at some of the creatures in the deck. So some of my favourite creatures aren't even ninjas, in fact. You've got Yanti Malison. It can't be blocked as long as it's attacking alone, which is really powerful, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can venture into the dungeon, so this is important for gaining the advantage over the course of the game. You've got Glint Sleeve Siphoner with Menace, and when you attack, you get an energy, and you can use 2 energy to draw a card and lose a life. You've got Silver Fur Master, which is a new card from the latest set. It's got ninjutsu, and ninjutsu abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate, and it gives other ninjas and rogues you control +1/+1. You've got Ingenious Infiltrator, which is from the Modern Horizon set, which they added a while ago. Whenever a ninja you control deals damage to a player, draw a card. This is fantastic, and it's basically like Coastal Piracy. Whenever a creature attacks and hits, you're going to draw a card, so it's really powerful. So yeah, take a look in the description below. The deck list will be sat there in a Moxfield link, and don't forget to leave me a like and sub if you like what you see. I will leave a post-game commentary at the end of the video if you are so inclined to see, but yeah, stay tuned for that. Sweet, so we go first against Jodah. We've got some nice cards to top the game off. Duress is going to be pretty decent against a Jodah player because they're probably looking to cheat in some massive spells. So I don't want to start with that, however, because I do want to get the Yanti Malison out ASAP. So don't forget that Kaito Shizuki is flavorfully a ninja, and he is a planeswalker ninja in essence, but you don't need to have everything in the deck to be ninjas. But there are quite a few ninjas in the deck. I think I've got about 15 or so, so yeah, it'll be in the deck list. Don't forget to check that out if you're curious to see what I've put in here. Apologies if I haven't put in your favourite cards, but yeah, feel free to tell me below what your favourite cards actually are. So let's swing with Yanti Malison, and I do like to scry a little bit. So let's go with the Lost Mine of Fandelver. And we want to see a land. Deals combat damage to a player. You may discard a creature card when you do. Destroy a creature or planeswalker. This is actually quite good, but it's just not the right time. We don't have any creature cards in our hand we want to get rid of yet. So let's just go for Kaito Shizuki here. And draw a card.
Get in, get out.
So yeah, just being able to draw is fantastic for a 3-mana card. Binding the Old Gods comes down. It's going to kill the Yanti Malison because they can't target the Kaito. And now might be a good time to go for the Arcane Signet. Let's create a ninja so we can start pushing them next turn.
Our eyes are everywhere.
And I could sign in blood. So yeah, let's do that. Let's replenish our hand here. So I've kept the mana rocks quite low in this deck, and that's because with lower curve decks, if you draw a mana rock, it's a really bad late game card because it doesn't actually provide any aggression. So you actually want to have... I'd actually rather have more lands than mana rocks in an aggressive deck. When you're playing a control deck and you just draw mana rocks, it's actually not too bad because you can keep casting your huge spells. But as our curve is quite low, yeah, we'll see. So we weren't punished. Source to Plowshares. They really don't want us to draw 2. That's fine. Okay, let's go with the Duress. Ooh, okay, so we probably want to get rid of the Ruinous Ultimatum, I think, because that just destroys everything on our field. Yeah, so let's draw and then discard to see what we can get here.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
So this Futurist Operative, it's a human citizen with base and can't be blocked. Yeah, I think I'll discard that. That's not going to be useful in this matchup. So for now, we'll just go for the Moonblade Shinobi, hardcast it out. When it deals damage to a player, we create a 1/1 blue illusion creature token with flying. So they've only got 5 mana, so they're probably going to be digging for something here with the Once Upon a Time. We have to be aware that they do have the Cleansing Nova. Okay, fair enough. Well, that is a shame, but Jodah is a very powerful deck, so I'm not going to be sad about that victory there. Okay, so we go first against a Ishin 2 Heavens as 1 deck. And it's a classic battle of Samurai versus a Ninja. Our starting hand, however, is not a very good one. So we're going to mulligan this. And this is considerably better. We've got removal and some creatures. So start with the Temple and see what we get on top. I think that could be good, actually. Yeah, I think I want to leave that on top. So this is great because it says whenever a ninja or rogue hits somebody, you get a treasure. But you only get 1 treasure for even if you have 2 or 3 creatures, so just bear that in mind. So it's good to get out early attackers because then Kaito can start drawing. So don't forget to attack first. And then you can utilise the draw without discard, which is fantastic.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
So being a Mardu deck, they will have access to a lot of removal. So we have to be cognizant of that. The Adventurer probably needs to die, doesn't it? So I'm actually going to swing in. And then before blocks, I'm going to ninjutsu out the Covert Technician here. Because it's a form of ramp in blue, which is kind of weird. Oh no, sorry, I actually put the wrong one in. I meant to put the Prosperous Thief in, but you know what? It kind of worked out anyway, I guess. Let's draw a card. So yeah, the Covert Technician says whenever it deals damage to a player, you may put an artifact card with mana less than or equal to that damage onto the battlefield. This is actually kind of crazy. If you yeah, luckily it was a happy mistake being able to play something, but that would have been sad if I didn't have any targets. So let's see if I can rectify my mistakes here. So let's go for the Prosperous Thief with a giant fish in his hand. So ninjutsu is actually pretty good against instant speed removal as well, because it can sometimes... Oh, Deferred Protection, okay. So we still attacked. So we still get to just draw a card. Although, do I want to make it now? Let's just draw a card here.
I know something you don't.
And Charter Course as well. I kind of want to get a land here. And then we can show off a cool new card, the Eater of Virtue. So it's a 1 mana equipment. Whenever equipped creature dies, exile it. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. And as long as a card exiled with Eater of Virtue has an ability, basically, one of the evergreen abilities, the equipped creature also has that ability when it's linked to it. So it's a bit like it's like Katana's sword from the DC series. I think something like her husband's spirit is trapped within a sword. Kind of sad, really, but Yeah, very cool flavour. The Goldspan Dragon probably needs to die. So let's go for Debt to the Kami, which is a really nice new way for black to interact with enchantments, because I could also go for the ability 2, which says target opponent exiles an enchantment. Really powerful, and the artwork is fantastically creepy. So let's swing in with the Thief and finally get a treasure after my silly mistake earlier. Now, they don't have any creatures, so they might have a board wipe.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
So maybe I'll just play a creature that I'm not too bothered about losing. I'll keep the Illuminator back for now, because this can really push you over the edge late game. It's a bit like having a bonus to Citadel once each turn. So they don't want to cast the General because they can see we have the Ether Spell Bomb, so I kind of get it. So we're ramping once again, so let's draw another card with Kaito. At this point, we can just kind of sit back and relax, because the only issue is if they have the Ruinous Ultimatum 3, 4, 5, 6, they could destroy all of our permanents. So maybe we should just Notion Rain here, just to see if we can pick up some recovery cards. Easy Prey could be nice versus some smaller creatures, so I'll keep that just in case. And I am happy to pass. Eat to extinction. Okay, so Kaito bites the dust, unfortunately.
The fun just started.
He has done a lot of work, to be fair. I do really love Kaito. This is such a cool card. I didn't realise how good he was until I played him, but for 3 mana he's exceptional. I think he's fantastic planeswalker. Makes blockers, draws cards, what more could you want? The design isn't the most outlandish, but very cool. So this is 2 mana, right? So let's use the Easy Prey on it. And I'm happy to just cycle this to draw a card, because we have so much removal in this deck. We're not going to miss the Ether Spell Bomb. Plus, it's not a permanent answer for their threats anyway. So once again, we want to swing in. Opponent's down to 9. And then once again, we can just play some fodder. Yeah, don't mind losing the Futurist Operative here. And pass the turn, leaving some mana up for our removal spells. I reckon they've got a board wipe. They've got 7 mana, so is it going to be Ruinous Ultimatum? So yeah, I think we probably missed lethal actually as well. Like, we could have probably equipped the sword a bit earlier, but I was a bit hesitant in case they had removal. But yep, fair enough. Moving on to the next game then. Opponent's going first for the mono black Nora. Okay. Mono black Nora rat deck. So this is the rat tribal deck. So they could have just 60 rats and 40 lands. We'll have a look. Whoa, they shed out $30 for these lands. That's crazy, isn't it? I was looking in the shop the other day, and you had to get 2 styles for each basic. Costs $30. Absolutely outrageous. Trust me, I was tempted, because they do look stunning, but my god. In real life, you could probably buy, I don't know, 30. So let's go for the Omen Kill. I really like this card because if it hits, exile top 3 cards of your opponent's library, you can play any lands from among them. So awesome card. So here come the rats. It's tempting to kill one. Do I kill one here? I think we want to go for Kaito. And
There are
so
many
Kaito will be
secrets I
fine.
don't know, but not for long.
But I do want to draw a card. I just need to ensure I get my next
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
mana source. So let's get rid of the search for Scanter. So the misplayed Shinobi is actually quite good. If this hits, we get a blocker, and the blockers are going to be fantastic versus the rat colonies. So they're pretty big so far. So luckily we do hit the land, which is exactly what we needed. So let's just have a quick read. All rats have fear, so we can only block it with black or artifacts. Sack a rat to create that many rats. That's pretty crazy. So we're gonna... I think we're gonna kill it. What's the best way to do this? So we want to kill... Yeah, I think we kill one of the rats. And then we can give one of our creatures permanently +3. And then we're going to make a blocker. And then we're going to bounce the Marinor before it can activate. Yep, so that's pretty good. So here it comes once again. So do they want to trade my 1/1 for their 3/1? No, fair enough. So we hit mana, which is good. Now the only annoying thing here is we only have enough mana to do one spell. But I guess we can draw with Kaito first, just to make sure.
I know something.
So that is a blocker, and it's 2 mana. So before it gets to their turn, we want to kill the Marinora. Okay, so luckily they don't have a way to give it Undying. That would have been pretty bad, but they do draw 2, and I'm happy to play yet another blocker. So we could even crew the Omen Kill here and swing in, because unless they have haste, we should be okay. And then this could potentially ensure that we get some more land drops, which is going to be useful. 3 rats. What are the odds? So here's another. And another. And they're going to swing in with the Guardian Isle as well. So we can still block the colony if they choose to. Both coming in at us. Well, definitely going to trade that. Ooh, we can make them discard 2 cards. That could be really good. And I think that's the way forward. So I guess we just make them discard 2 lands. Damn, that's unlucky. And yes, so we're going to make another ninja to block. And pass the turn.
All kinds of connections.
So here comes the general once again. Question is, do they attack? Wow, they really don't care, do they? Oh, I guess they've got fear, so we can't actually block anyway. That is quite annoying. Sure. We could just be dead then. Unless we have an answer. So we might just have to draw a card here.
Now,
well, that certainly is an answer. 5, 8. So, annoyingly, we're going to have to get rid of our own tokens. Because this is 8 damage, that's way more. So I guess that's a shame. We can't even crew the Omen Kill. But we have to kind of... yeah, we're just going to have to do this, aren't we? Six, 7, 8. Yeah, because otherwise they could just... Let's say we got rid of the general, they could just recast it anyway, and then we're in the same boat as before. This is a ruthless deck, isn't it? Yeah. Down to 3, so I don't know if we're going to be able to survive this. So we can make them sack something. Let's see what they get rid of. Yeah, so that's a great play. They can just reanimate the Guardian Idol, sack that, and then we're screwed. So all we can do is really play this. And the best thing we can do is make another blocker, but it won't be enough.
There will be a next time. Our eyes
Unless...
are everywhere.
Interesting. Okay, actually there's a small window here. So we can actually crew the Omen Kill in response to them dealing damage. So yeah, so we can make this a creature and then block with the Omen Kill. Okay. Oh, so it can't block. That's interesting. So Fear says it can only be blocked by artifact creatures and or black creatures. But I couldn't block it with an artifact creature that was blue. Oh. Okay, fair enough. Unless I misclicked, maybe something was wrong there. Okay, fair enough. Moving on to the next game then. Sweet, so we go first against Helan and Elena partners. This is going to be a tough matchup, but we've got a seriously pretty good hand actually. We've got the Omen Kill, which is great for funding lands, and a couple of removal spells. Let's see if we can survive this. Beautiful alternate art there with Helena and Elena. First right reach, beginning combat on your turn, put X 1/1 counters on another creature you control. X is their power and it gains haste. Crazy powerful. So fingers crossed we can get a hit in. Burning Tree. Okay, sure. So is that playing Historic? Wow, this is pretty crazy. Their turn 2 play. So do they choose to block this? Double block, so they're just gonna trade both of their creatures. I did not expect that. I really did not expect that to happen. Okay, so now we can exile their creatures. I'm not sure if what they did was a good move. Strange. And my reasoning for that is, in a deck like this, you want to have cheap creatures out so you can actually put the counters on. If you don't have creatures... Look, so they've actually missed a trigger there because they lost both of their creatures. And now it's just time for me to make the most of it, I guess. Don't want the land. Yeah, happy to go for the Flux Channel on the following turn. And then we don't have to play the Eater of Virtue yet. And we can even create a treasure. So this is going to be useful. So maybe we should go for Kaito Shizuki here. Because the following turn, then we can go for the Flux Channeler.
The system can't fix everything.
And yeah, this is looking really nice. Yeah, that was incredible.
There's no secret I
Yeah, I
can't
think they
uncover.
basically lost because of that block. So somewhat confusingly, we're facing a guy called Elishnorn, or a player called Elishnorn, and they're using Jin-Gitaxis, so that's slightly off-brand. And yeah, I want to keep this hand basically because we have Thief of Sanity. We can resolve this and get a few swings in. It could look good for us. So they play any little creatures here. We can kill it with the Eliminate. And EOT their turn. We're going to flash the Black Lance Paragon in, and this is going to be great because it's three damage a turn, which is pressure. Oh, fantastic! So let's hope they don't have any board wipes. When I say board wipes in blue, what I'm saying is mass bounce. Right, so we don't play the land yet because we don't want them to think we have 3 mana. Right, okay, keep this moment in your mind. They've just bounced the creature before they know what I was going to do at the end of the turn. So this is actually fantastic for us because we can now resolve a Thief of Sanity. So if I had played the land and then Thief of Sanity, what do you think they would have done there? They would have bounced the Thief, wouldn't they? Humongous difference. So let's see if we can go to combat. And we actually get a swing in. So this is vital. If we get a counter spell here, okay, so we go for the Consider. So now they're probably thinking they're going to hold up 4 mana for a counter. So this is where we just give them a spell. I don't even care about the spell. If they counter it, they counter it. Okay, fair enough. And then, yeah, happy to pass the turn. So at this point, I don't even care if I've... I was going to say I don't even care if I've lost, but yeah, I just wanted to show people the meaning of don't play your lands until main phase 2. We go first against Tamiyo, completed Sage. Oh, we're seeing quite a few of the new generals today, so that's really cool. So Tamiyo is the... Well, she's the Planeswalker that's been corrupted by Tezzeret and Jin-Gitaxis now, isn't she? So that's really cool flavour. I do apologise if it's one of your favourite Planeswalkers. She is now legit evil. So, but yeah, I mean, look what you get there. You get a Simic Reanimator, which is incredibly rare. So let's get the beats out. I'm not sure what kind of deck they're going to be because this can go in so many different directions. Artifacts, untapping, reanimation, all sorts really. 2/2. So am I bothered about the 2/2? Or would I rather get out Kaito? Let's get Kaito out. And
There are many secrets
you know what?
I don't know,
Let's come up the board.
not
Let's
for
come up the board. Let's just... So they're going to potentially put a counter on it. But you know what? It's fine. I'll just block with the one of the ninjas. Wow, they're just going to trade. That's intriguing. Does that mean they have cards in their graveyard they want to keep then? That's what it's telling me. Okay, so let's go for the Guild Pact Informant here. And then we can swing... We'll swing with the Changeling Outcast, draw a card.
I know
Sweet, and
something
yeah, we'll just pass back to them. So they can easily... They can get this out on turn 4. With no issues. This is actually really cool. I've never actually seen this deck, so it's the first time for me as well. Got the beautiful art on the Otawara Soaring City there. So the Guild Pact Informant here is going to be epic because proliferation is just so cool. So we're going to kill that. Well, kill our own guy anyway. So what could we do here? We definitely want to eliminate, don't we? Because this deals with the Lanoir Visionary, and it does not deal with their Tamiyo, whereas the Bloodchief's Thirst does. I also think... No, we're going to keep this. I don't want to use it on the Ranger class just yet. I kind of want them to put some more mana into it first. So let's swing in. And uptick.
Now, what do we
Let's just
have
keep playing
here?
stuff. Simic doesn't really have board wipes. So as long as we can protect Kaito, get to his ultimate, that would be quite nice to see. Golden egg. So it's like an eggs kind of deck. So eggs is a term for a deck that's just lots of little artifacts that draw you cards. Get a bit scared though, because they don't seem to be doing anything that's kind of progressing them forward too much, but we shall see. They might have a few tricks up their sleeve yet. Damn, I mean, apparently they can't go to the Kaito, yeah. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Hi guys, and welcome back to the end of the video. So this is the post-game wrap. Just a little bit of discussion about what I thought about Kaito Shizuki. Firstly, if you're into ninjas, I think this is really cool. I actually prefer this to the other ninja in the set. Because the other legendary ninja just gives everything ninjutsu. And in a weird way, it feels like it's not really a ninja deck because you're giving everything that ability. So there's nothing really like mechanically tight about that, if it makes sense. Whereas this one, I feel like there is a refined direction. I do like that. I always think that restriction breeds creativity. Also, I just prefer this art. That's the secret. I only choose cards I like the art of, to be perfectly honest. So each of his abilities, let's go through them one by one and let's see what I thought. So the passive triggered ability is really nice. It's actually breathtaking how much of a difference that trigger makes. Protecting him in your opponent's turn. They can't use sorcery speed removal. They can't attack him. So you're free to do exactly what you want for one turn. Pretty nice. And it's balanced because it's not broken. I'm not doing anything too broken on my side. So although it is annoying for the opponent, it's still manageable. The +1, draw a card, discard a card. Perfectly balanced. You draw the card fully if you attack. So I think there's no issue with that. Really like that ability. It helps looting, reanimation, anything. Aggro plays. -2, creating a 1/1 unblockable ninja. Also, I think that's perfectly fair. Bear in mind, this is coming from a mindset where I'm used to seeing 3 mana planeswalkers that's broken, and I think they've finally met a 3 mana planeswalker that kind of hits the spot, and it's not an Oko, it's not a Teferi. The -7, although I didn't manage to pull it off today, I feel as though it's a game-winning ultimate, and it's fairly costed at -7. If you want to get that off, it's going to take you 5 turns, because it's going to take 4 turns to get to 7. And then the 5th turn after that for you to ultimate. And this is a nice segue into the next part of the synergy, which is the proliferation cards. So there's only a couple, but they make quite a nice difference. Like being able to proliferate is the difference between one turn ultimating or not ultimating at all. Like if you think of proliferation like time warp for your planeswalkers, and it doesn't seem like much, does it? Just putting 1 extra counter on, but it's a huge difference as you saw in the previous game. The guy just quit because they knew that if I got the ultimate of Kaito off, it'd be the end of days. I quite like the build I already had. We've got a few standout cards like Yunti Malison. It's really nice not being able to be blocked attacking alone. Being able to venture into the dungeon is really powerful. All of the ninjas proved to be fairly decent. Ingenious Infiltrator, unfortunately, didn't really get to trigger that many times because the opponent was just adamant at killing them, which is completely understandable. Thief of Sanity, really awesome card. This is probably one of the strongest 3-drops in Dimir across many formats. If the opponent doesn't deal with this, they just lose the game. And you could see in one of the early games where, you know, not playing the land that early meant that I could attack with this, and then the opponent just straight up conceded. And I completely empathise with that because I've done that when I used to play Standard. If an opponent resolved a Thief and I couldn't kill it, the game would pretty much be over. So this is a standout card in the deck. With the current builds, what could I see from the opponents that I faced? Quite a lot of strong decks, to be honest. Nothing too outrageous, like no Sithis, no Kenrith, no Kyodai, but yeah, pretty tough. I'd say the opponents, I'd say the ranking power level would be like 7 out of 10 if I was to put a difficulty to them. The land base seems really nice. It's surprising how powerful the Hall of Storm Giants was in one game when we had nothing late game and it just became a 7-7 beat stick. I mean, that's just a given, really good. One thing I will also say is, sorry if I'm a bit scatterbrained, I'm trying to kind of think of it all in one piece. Yeah, the removal, the sweet spot is 2 mana, I think. Being able to kill their stuff on 2 mana kill spells is really important. Stuff like Easy Prey, Eliminate, Fantastic, Epic Downfall, Feed the Swarm, all useful. In a deck like this, don't forget how important stuff like Feed the Swarm is. So in black, you now have access to Feed the Swarm. You also have Farika's Libation. And the new one is called... where is it gone? It's called Debt to the Kami. So you can now exile an opponent's enchantment. You can make them sacrifice an opponent's enchantment. And now you can destroy an opponent's enchantment. And that's incredibly vital because enchantments are the hardest permanent to deal with in the game. Harder than planeswalkers because you can attack planeswalkers. So don't forget that. Always, always, always have ways to deal with enchantments. Because I've been in so many games where enchantments just run away with the game, even in artifacts. The irony is we can't really deal with artifacts that well, but they don't seem to be as game breaking. But yeah, tell me down below what you think of the videos today, how you think my deck went. I think I did quite well. I can't show every game I record, but I think the win rate was pretty high. I would say it's about 60%, which realistically is actually really good. I think testing a lot of other videos, especially in the higher tiers, my win rate is probably 40 to 50%. And that's just me being honest with you. So whenever you see professional players who are on YouTube who just show their wins, it's just not realistic. You're not going to win with every single game. It's just not how the game works. The game, yeah, it doesn't. Frankly, the game doesn't want you to win more because otherwise it creates an imbalanced system, I guess. But yeah, I've been playing this game for like must be 3 or 4 years now. Ever since the beginning, I've hit Mythic 3 times in Standard, so I definitely know what I'm talking about. I used to grind Standard all the time, but it just got so frustrating that I had to move away from it. And that's what makes me sad when I see Historic Brawl kind of sometimes veer into that darkness of the game, because although it is just a game, it's something that a lot of people love, literally millions of people love, and it's something people do to escape. So when you just keep facing the same decks over and over again, it can understandably get frustrating. So if I ever do sound frustrated in my videos, I do apologise for that. I don't really want to come across like that, but I'm just trying to be realistic with you. And if you pilot the deck, I'm not going to say that you're going to win every single game, but it's a decent build. But yeah, I'm happy to give anyone any more feedback. You know, if you want to ask me for any more deck ideas or deck tips, feel free to ask in the comments below. I get back to pretty much everybody. So yeah, with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you think I've been rambling too long, just tell me. I'm always evolving the channel, and I'm sorry if I make mistakes. But yeah, let's hope we can grow the channel to 500 subs. That's the next milestone, and eventually, who knows, we'll see where we go from there. Cool, so until next time, catch you guys later. If you enjoyed watching this video, why not try some of my other videos on my channel? And don't forget to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button for more content like this.